So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first committee meeting of the new civic year. First item on the agenda is election of chair for the 24-25 municipal year. And I would like to kick this off by proposing Councillor Lambert from the chair.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor Everton. All in favour? Excellent. Yeah, chair is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If you never left, isn't it?
That's what I've nominated as it was unanimous.
Thank you very much, everybody. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the election of vice chair. Anyone like to make a proposal? Councillor Riceman?
I'd like to propose Councillor Hoskins.
So, I'll second that from the chair.
Happy to second.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Okay, all those in favour? Once again, thank you very much. Congratulations, Tony. How are you? Okay, item 3 on the agenda is apologies for absence. Do we have any? No. Very good, thank you. Item 4, declarations of interest. Does anybody have any declarations of interest? Okay, no. Then item 5, public participation. Unfortunately, we don't have any members of the public here, so we move straight on to item 6. And that is to approve the minutes of the Town and Community Committee meeting held on the 2nd of April 2024. Anybody have any comments, corrections? I'll explain because I didn't remember looking at that one. Okay. Good. All those in favour? Very much. The item 7 is the appointment of subcommittees, their terms of reference and membership. To consider the appointment of the Town and Community Committee subcommittees and their membership and their terms of reference. Details are on pages 7 to 14. Anybody have any corrections? Updates, Councillor. Sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Just take a while to get used to that.
Isn't it just?
On the bus working group, I believe that Councillor Hoskins and myself should also be on that list. Furthermore, if we only have 2 councillors, we'd be in breach of the terms of reference.
Should be on it.
I don't know what council, hopefully we will. If you want,
Yes, it's really driven.
yeah.
Just
So just a question of clarification, how many times does the bus working group meet?
So far it's been ad hoc.
Yes, we haven't met for
here.
yes, a considerable time. It's very much driven by Councillor Gabczak and his information from the County Council and the bus company. We had a meeting with them just after the elections probably last May, and really we very much rely on him. And if he has new information, needs new decisions, then he will call a meeting.
So you're driving the bus.
Yeah, the strategic plan contains a commitment to moving the bus from 3 to 5 days, and therefore I would expect the bus working group to start meeting to put that into place, or put some plans into place and bring them to committee and full council for a recommendation to proceed. So I expect it, I very much hope it will meet, and that we can look at meeting that commitment. The bus is a lifeline for a small but significant number of people. It's the only way they can get in and out of town, and we do want to extend it, and that should increase the usage if everyone knows it's available 5 days rather than 7 days.
Yes, exactly.
Just to confirm that Councillor Gabczak and the town centre manager have already met with the bus company in order to start the proposal for a 5-day service. So hopefully that will be coming back to the bus working group and this committee shortly.
Councillor Hoskins, then Kandai.
Okay, thank you for suggesting I've become a member of the bus group. One of the issues that I see is that currently I estimate the emissions from the buses represent 7 tonnes. And if it goes to 5-day working, that'll prorated. And I think we need to think about what we consider is right for the bus utilisation, and also the type of fuel they use.
Okay. Are you suggesting that the number of people using it might not justify the emissions? Is that?
Well, the number of people using it, I don't know, but I've just calculated 5 buses, the 3 buses, and then their distance 3 days a week. And that's, we need to think about how we actually manage that type of thing going forward.
Okay, thank you. That would be Vicky, wouldn't it? How's Kandai was next?
Oh, thank you. I suppose I hope this council is looking at all areas of public transport, so not just bus, but train and rail, and also cyclists and the safety of cyclists. And I don't know where that was addressed, or how that can be addressed, or what happens to the rail user group or something. But yes, so I'm just surprised that, yes, it's great we have a bus working group, but I'm surprised we don't have other public transport represented.
Are there any other apologies?
Councillor Dodd.
The question, when we met the bus company, they were looking at a green bus. And I don't know what, obviously it was all to do with money, but I don't know what the outcome of that is. And the other thing, the 5 days.
They already have electric buses.
Yes, yeah. The 5 days, is it going to be Monday to Friday, or is it going to be Tuesday to Saturday? And that was one thing that we hadn't quite sorted. So you're quite right. When we have another meeting, we do quite soon. We need to look at all those issues, really.
I would certainly call out, and this is just a who's best to be involved as opposed to providing solutions.
Yeah, that's right.
Potentially the next bit, and just go back to Councillor Kandai, the working group to put 5 days buses in place, not to represent other forms of transport. I believe.
Transport strategy group.
Well, exactly. I was about to answer that question. The transport strategy covers everything. The bus is a particular project, which is to finish on the 5-day service commitment.
However, if you would like to come to we will discuss the transport strategy group, and you are more than welcome to come and have a chat.
Oh, sorry, which one?
Transport strategy group,
Yeah, when?
planning.
It's a working group of plans.
Event subcommittee, can we talk about that, or?
Can I just come back on
this
on
one
the buses? I mean, I completely agree that the point that Councillor you've made, which is that currently it's a diesel bus. Far from ideal. We did have a gas bus originally, and electric buses are coming in. Where I work, in London, the bus services that goes past my office is all electric. They're all electric. This is coming. Technology is changing, and one of the things that I hope the bus group looks at is to make it electric and start addressing the concerns that we all have, reduce pollution even further, which public transport does do. Even if in itself we are increasing the amount of emissions that we're making as a council. So it's a delicate balancing act on how you measure net zero, as Tony, I'm sure, has said before and will say again.
Marvellous. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Wright. It has been discussed, and positively. So we're looking at when the bus comes up for replacing it with an electric or hydrogen-based bus, and I'm sure it will continue to be discussed.
All to do with money. So many things are.
Okay, so it's recommended that the committee resolves to approve the membership in terms of reference to the Henley and Bloom subcommittee, event subcommittee, bus working group, with the addition of Councillor Hoskins and the town working group as outlined. Councillor
Could
Dodds?
I say something about the events subcommittee?
Yes.
I suppose firstly, could I ask my name to be added to it?
Yes.
I've had a conversation with Nikki yesterday. We had a very useful conversation. And I know that the town clerk's been copied in on this, but there is, the archaeological and historical group have been doing a lot of work and are looking forward to the 8th of May next year, when it's the 80th anniversary of the end of the war. And a lot of us have been going through the dusty pages of the Henley Standard to see exactly what was happening in Henley all those years ago, and it's fascinating. So there's a lot of exciting ideas. The town council was heavily involved. The government asked local authorities to set up air raid shelters to handle the evacuees that were coming down particularly from the East End. They had to run canteens. They had to organise fire watch. We had Mr. Luca was mayor for most of the time. He was also owns the Henley Standard, and he was chairman of the bench. So he really was heavily in control of Henley. Anyway, I'd like ask for it to be put on the agenda. And the sooner we could get a date, then the sooner we could alert the members of the Archaeological and Historical Society to prepare a paper so we could put it to the town. And I see the people who are on this committee actually would be extremely useful in some of the exciting, even bonkers ideas that we might come up with for next year. So I just want to share that with you all and see if I could add my name to the events.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Councillor Higgleton.
Am I on the events? I should be on the events committee. I can't see if you are. What page?
Page
Over.
3.1, page 7.
Oh, right, wrong page, that's right.
So I just note that unfortunately, the terms of reference included in the agenda pack for the events subcommittee is an old version of the terms of reference. So could I suggest that the correct terms of reference is brought back to the next meeting to approve?
Okay. Right. I'll second that. Yeah. All those in favour?
What are we voting on?
The town council.
Just amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just councillor Kanda, speak.
Thank you, sorry, it's not, it's just a question of clarification, so the Henley and Bloom, terms of reference, I'm just mindful that we declared a nature emergency, and, thinking Henley and Bloom has a really key part to play within the nature emergency, and us taking that forward, and the implications of it.
Sorry, you're suggesting an update in terms of reference.
I'm suggesting that it would be good to flag or reference a nature emergency somewhere within the TOR.
Okay.
Perhaps the Henley Bloom subcommittee can be asked to
Yes.
consider that. I think it's the best thing to do.
Today.
Biodiversity, for example, is going to be a key part of the Henley and Bloom in future, and that's exactly part of the nature emergency that we should be thinking of.
Yes.
So, yes. One final point, section 5 of the report on page 8, it's the town's steering group, not the town's working group.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so with those amendments, all those in favour? Thank you very much. That's all I'm up to do. Item 8, communications manager update. Update is on page 15 of the agenda. Anybody have any, Councillor Dodds?
I've had several complaints asking, is the Mayfair on? Not everybody in the town is on Facebook and Instagram and newsletters and whatever. And I know the posters weren't up later than they had expected, but I think we should try between 7 to 10 days, they should go up. The Art Week posters have been up for ages and it's been a huge success. I do think people need the visual reminder. It's not good enough just to say, I put it on Facebook, I put it on Instagram. A lot of people, as I've said before, don't do that, don't want to do that. So I think if you're going to have a wash-up meeting, I would say make absolutely sure that those posters go up 7 to 10 days and don't just rely on social media.
Councillor Eccleston.
In terms of reference, it's a week before, isn't it? It's all posters are only allowed a week before. So we can't go put them up before that week.
Not sure.
That is for external people wanting to put posters up.
Is it?
As per our rules, we can of course amend the rules for our own events.
Well, we only put them up, when I was part of that, well, still part of it. We were still abiding by those rules and only putting them up a week before. So if we can put them up a little bit before, then that would be good.
When did they?
But we didn't,
They only went up a few days before, and I saw one in Grays Road car park, and I saw two, and I go through the town, 'cause I live in the town all the time. And I only saw about 3, so we need loads more, and we need them up as early as we
but
can.
I think.
The administrator wants to say something.
We also promoted it in Henny Herald, so it was, the local paper as well. So they promoted it for weeks in advance, it was being promoted, it was all our social medias, there were posters up, the, general road closed, the official ones went up. And there was quite a lot, Sally went out around the town, putting light posters up all around the town, so there were quite a lot up.
Thank you.
The only thing we lacked this time round is it was sponsored by Sinclair, wasn't it? Sinclair,
Sinclair on the posters.
Penny Sinclair done all the boards on their things and put them all around the town, and obviously they never done it this year, whether they pulled out and not doing it, but every year.
They did do it this year, and they printed boards and their logos on.
Oh, right, but they would have been around the town, all over.
Right, any other comments on the, Councillor Kandahar?
Yes, just say thank you, Daisy, for Green Corner, for the promotion of the Green Week. I know Green and Hanley are very pleased, and they have some updated information. So thank you for the promotion and for the continuing promotion of the Zoom. That complements really nicely how we as a council have to kind of nature emergency, and how local people can get involved with lots of different activities to raise awareness and celebrate the nature of the green spaces that we have. So just want to say thank you for your promotion. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, David. Did you want to add anything, David, or are you okay with what I said? Thank you very much. All right, anybody else? Councillor Kandahar?
Sorry, it's just a comment. I was hobbling behind I think just a group of 3 tourists on my way from St Mary's, and they were talking with an app in their hand about the Henley Ale Trail.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that is involved with you.
No, that's done by Breakfast.
No, okay, well,
On the Visit Henley website.
well, they appreciated it, and then the next thing I hear is that Ed Sheeran had been spotted.
Done. Yeah, he goes into a few of the pubs.
Well, I'm sure the chair would agree. I'll drink to that.
Star Power is good.
I on the website, and supported by.
Ed Sheeran.
I think you have to do it in 1 calendar year though, don't you? You did Saracen's Head. It was a-
Done the Saracen before, we've just done another one just recently.
Yeah, it fell.
Bell, yeah.
It was my teacher anyway. Yeah. One day we'll see him wearing it in school somewhere. Okay, so we'll move on to the town centre manager update on page 17. Anybody have any comments, questions? Councillor Hoskins.
I've been involved as Paul mentioned in the Tourism Alliance. I think we need to think that tourism will affect a wider range of businesses and also community groups, rather than just the ones that are involved, and their own participation is very strong. But I think that there is a consultant on board whose first name is Kim. And I suggest that when we get to the stage of having talking about what is this tourism strategy, we should actually involve a wider range of businesses, community groups, because I think all of them will be involved and benefit from the tourism strategy. But they may be able also to contribute towards it. So I think we should ask Paul to actually schedule that going forward.
Okay. An expansion of the tourism alliance.
Yeah, or at least participation of the people that equally could benefit.
Fair enough. I know the membership has grown and shrunk and changed over time, because it's been going quite a few years now. I think Paul really got it re-established, didn't he? Councillor Egerton.
It says some of the stamps have been repointed and some stamps have been replaced. There's still quite a lot in the marketplace that are still cracked. And as I've discussed probably over a year ago, the jet washing pavements is not the best way of cleaning those type of stone, because they're like sponges. You just wash all the pores out and it just fills back up with dirt. So within a week it's dirty again. So it's a bit pointless to even you can look it up yourself, but jet washing the pavements, and that's what's taking all the pointing out of the things. And I noticed they were doing it the other day, and some of the shops weren't very happy because they were having all their windows covered in mud and crap.
Fair enough. Wasn't aware of that.
Anyway, just to say, we are arranging a meeting for them to come in, meet me, of course, so yes, we can get bait fixed. They will be coming in to discuss it with them.
I think all I need is like a wing mirror here. When Nikki puts her hands, I can see it. Councillor Dodds.
Good about Holland and Barrett and Mountain Warehouse. We don't have any vacancy numbers on here. Usually Paul gives us vacancy numbers, and I do see a few more empty ones, unfortunately, in the town. So maybe we could have an update.
That's good news that Holland and Barrett will be.
It's always been popular.
I was very pleased about that.
Do we know who's taking over the Holland Barrett location?
Now Holland and Barrett are
The
taking
new
over the
ones.
former Mountain Warehouse.
I know what they're doing.
Ah,
Well, who's taking over the existing one?
They're not here.
They're not
They're not
here, they never heard.
I think you mean Planet Organic.
No. It's the
No,
one-
Holland and Barrett's never
There's
been
one
here.
behind the town hall, but that's
that's
not.
not Holland and Barrett.
No.
It's not Holland and Barrett. It hasn't been here.
I don't think there's ever been a Holland and Barrett in Henley, but.
No, I'm talking about the Mountain Warehouse.
Yes.
Mountain Warehouse are moving to the location that was M&Co.
Yeah.
That's what they're refitting now. Their previous location is being taken by Holland and Barrett, who are currently in Henley.
Okay, sorry.
So there's a new business coming in.
Okay,
Councillor Kendall.
Yeah, thank you. I'd just be really intrigued to know more about the retailers forum. So I'm surprised there wasn't an update from the last one that happened, or when the next one is. Can anyone else recall how often they meet? I thought they were every month. Does anyone know? It's surprised it's been like every 6 months.
So it's in the last.
Oh, is it?
Like quarterly. Maybe quarterly.
Cowbell, sorry.
I believe they're called.
Any further comments or questions on the job? I've seen none. So we'll move along to the New Town Road parking restriction consultation, pages 19 to 26. So this is for a single yellow line and parking restrictions during the day outside Anderson House, I believe. So allowing people to park overnight, not during the day.
Is that on this stretch too, is it?
I think so. The map is not very clear.
It's not so bad.
I looked at the map for more information and it left me more confused.
Just work out where Reading Road was, which I think was there.
I think there was,
Reading Road's here and that's Anderson House there.
Yeah, but Anderson House has been marked on the map. That would have been very helpful.
I think there was parking issues down this bit.
Doesn't
That's where it
actually
was originally.
mark.
And that's Reading Road on the right there, isn't it?
Down
Where do you
Reading
think
Road.
Reading Road's here?
Reading, this is coming into
That's-
coming into Newtown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reading.
Reading Road is here, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, down there.
Yeah,
So this is coming into the entrance where the
The home.
where that weird place, looks like a police station rather than a residential place. They put in, that's where the care home is down there, isn't it?
Yeah, down, carry on down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's, the one down towards the river.
Hmm.
I'm actually
And
not.
to the left, it's Reading Road.
More confused, it's not, it's just not.
It's not.
And that's the footpath what they closed down.
Hmm. So is it this area all the way round or not clear? I suppose they described it, didn't they?
Because there's big lorries coming in there, it would pay to have a double yellow line from the front all the way around, right the way down on this side.
I did wonder why it was single yellow. If it's necessary for visibility, surely you need the whole.
Single yellow lines means you can park for 20 minutes anyway, so what's the point of having?
Specifically to allow people to park overnight. Maybe residential or something, I don't know.
It's the residents that can be in.
But if you've got a single yellow line, it's defeating the object because you can park there for 20 minutes anyway, in the daytime. If you're unloaded.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do we know who suggested this?
I don't know.
CC.
It was a surprise to me to see it on the agenda. I she rang Sheridan and asked what it was. Yeah, so,
I think Anderson House is here on the front here, isn't it? The Anderson House.
Is that
It's, yeah, it's up, so if you come down Newtown Road,
Hmm.
you get the Regis building.
The
at the bottom corner.
gates near the Hoffs,
Yeah,
next to Hoffs.
just straight, yeah, where the new development is at the very bottom of that road. So you got like the car home and then just.
So right on that corner then.
Yes, that's,
It's that.
so Hawks is slightly further up,
This is Anderson House here, is it?
so the development is, if you look at that. They're on at the top Newtown Road, car home, this bit here is being redeveloped, so that corner bit, so you can see it,
On this corner, yeah.
that's it, yeah. So that's where they're trying to put it, in. Anderson House is gonna go in there, where the grey shaded bit is.
So this bit, yeah.
Yeah, so the grey,
Oh, in
shaded
there.
where your thumb is. The grey
Oh, I
shaded-
agree, yeah.
That's Anderson House, so that's the chunk of it.
Right.
That's from the family.
So they want it down here then, that's,
Yeah, so the bottom corner, there are no single yellows. There are single yellows further down Newtown Road. And what they're saying is they're gonna put single yellows there in accordance with how everything else is done. So I don't see any issue with it.
no. So
Very
I'm,
helpful to have you.
I'm for it.
With that, is Debbie.
I have no opinion because I don't understand it. So
I'll propose.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favour? Abstaining because I don't understand it.
Well, presumably being asked for comments. It's a
Clear
councillor
map
fee.
next time, please.
So
Yeah, clear map, very.
Yeah,
I don't,
the agenda,
at least mark the building. I think the lights do. Right.
to consider the proposal. Do we have any comments to go back up? Have they got any? Are they asking for comments? Okay, that's what it is. Objections to proposals should be sent in writing before the 17th of May.
But we don't object.
We don't
You're in
object.
favour, you're seconding. Everyone supports that, and we're in favour of
I
it.
mean, the timing of 8 till 6 is only implied.
If you're in favour of it.
The other lack of clarity.
Potentially, the only comment might be we go back is to try and make it a bit clearer where they are talking to and why they're putting it in.
Yeah. Okay. Right, okay, so item 11 is finance to consider the management accounts. However, these figures are out of date. Updated figures will be circulated tomorrow for the next FSNM meeting. So I think we'll do this one. That's okay with everybody. Yeah. And that will leave us on to our progress, I think. Should be. That's everything. So,
We've all covered the paving things. On the bridge repair. And graffiti, there's another chunk been knocked out by a Dutch barge yesterday. And carried on going, centre arch, big chunk at the top. It's, we've got the name of the boat, so I'm gonna be sending it to Nikki.
thanks. How far?
The footage has been sent on to Councillor Gavashak, who has forwarded on to the county council. I believe it's also been reported to the police.
Yeah.
So I was going to suggest if we are just going to be repointing the York Stones ad hoc as and when they need doing, do we need this on progress?
Not really, if they're gonna, if they are
It's
gonna
going
carry
to be
on.
one of our maintenance tasks. Do we need it on progress reports? No? No? Agree with that, please, thank you. Right. Um, Okay, any other comments? See that our bins have to be sent back again.
Unfortunately, so
Do we
apparently,
need to cancel this?
certainly not.
You sure?
Yes, apparently it was about, we thought it was down to how they've been wrapped and shipped, but it looks like, and they did the same again, we had the same problem again. But it looks like actually it was a bad batch of paint, they're saying, which had caused the problems that they weren't aware of the first time around. So they are doing it, and they've given us an additional free bin, which will hopefully be up to standard.
Yes, it is, good.
And June, they bring it from the beginning of 20th.
Brilliant. When they come in, can someone give me a call? I'd like to see it. Thank you. Also, comment I had here was the environmentally sustainable events. Further investigation being carried out into what an environmentally sustainable event looks like, and then also on silent running generators, investigation being carried out into cleaner energy generators preventing the future. Can these not be grouped together? And also, I still didn't like the term silent running generators.
No,
It doesn't mean anything.
no,
Quite a
just means
It's not
quiet.
silent and it's not.
Clean.
Well, what I would like to see is emissions-free generators.
But, you know, that all comes under sort of cleaner events, doesn't it? I mean, I think it really should be one item. Anyway, it's just my opinion. I noticed that the Marshall Lock footbridge update is blank, which is a fair reflection of the work done so far. But shouldn't we have our own opinion in here or something?
I would say it is worth keeping that one. There's a work has been done so far, particularly by Councillor Garishak. And hopefully we will be able to continue the pressure. So I would like to continue with that, and I will probably be bringing forward some agenda items to do with that in the next few months, depending on the response from the Environment Agency and the progress or lack thereof.
Good, thank you. Councillor Campbell.
Yes, so Councillor Egerton, about these 4 volunteers who are interested to take part, I just wondered if there was any further update
On what?
on the Repair Cafe.
The Repair Cafe, I'm still waiting for people to volunteer. You can't open a thing, you can get a venue with, at the Scout Hut. He said that we could use that, originally. The day centre said we could do that there originally. But it was having the people, we had, I think, 2 people volunteered. And they wanted to know what days you're gonna run it. But other than that, I just thought if you only got 2 people volunteering, I suppose it's a start, but never really went further than that, really.
Okay, so could I just ask a clarification about these 4 volunteers that you are aware of? Is that, should that now be 2
There's
volunteers?
2.
2,
Just,
that
yeah,
progress update? Could that progress thingy be updated from 4 to 2? And so.
obviously they've backed out now, because I don't know for what reason.
The 2 that you have,
Not 2, yeah.
right, thanks.
That's it,
That's right.
Going back to your remark about the sustainable events, that was great, sustainable events. Environmental sustainable events and silent running generators, so cool. I'd like to see a commitment on this to a report coming to this committee on those on the general subject. I think that you referred to where they group together, plus any other areas of similar. So I would like to see this committee be able to consider the conclusions of any investigation, so we can look to improve our story here.
Okay.
And there was concern. We had some good discussion at a recent meeting, and I'd like to follow it up. So could we add that to the report, to the progress report, which is that a report to come to this committee
Yeah, so.
It's all been since anything's come through, it's just.
Okay,
It's nice, it will.
Thank you. I was concerned to see that the ATM supply failed to cover the ATM. It'd be good to understand the reasons for this and how quickly we expect to see a replacement supply in place, particularly when we're coming up to the time of year which is necessary to have it. If possible, could we ask for the town centre manager to circulate an update to us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all
I
right.
think that did you talk to the town centre manager about the banking hub group meeting? I mean, I
Yes.
think we were sort of imagining that because of the progress the town centre manager apparently made on the provision of temporary ATM, that the urgency or the importance of that group had been declined slightly. But it's probably more important now that we do look at a more permanent
Yes,
solution.
so the town centre manager was looking for temporary ATM for the Mayfair. That's what the company failed to deliver. He was also looking to create a permanent ATM elsewhere in the town. I think that, I'm not sure if that was the same company or a different company, but I gather there were problems with that company as well, so. Not much progress has been made. He did inform me that a lot of the companies that supply temporary ATMs went out of business during COVID because there were no events. To supply their cash points to. So there actually aren't that many companies doing it anymore.
Well, it just highlights the need generally to look at the sort of ATMs in particular, but also the issue more generally, banking and financial services available locally in the town. And the banking hub was intended to do that.
Yes.
And I think we should ask the town centre manager, who I think is his responsibility, to call that working group
So
together.
that working group meeting is scheduled.
Oh, good, right,
Yeah.
then let's hear it.
Let me just find the date.
Yeah, I know that you had some discussions.
Yeah.
So,
Fine.
so no, I'm happy that your assurance is that the meeting is scheduled.
But I can let everybody know. If you mind it.
Tuesday or something like
Sue.
Doesn't mean it's solved.
Well, it's doing nothing. Was also nothing.
Oh, so why isn't it in the, why isn't it in our working group that we approved?
I can't find it, but I do have the date noted down somewhere.
Is the working group reported to this committee?
Yeah.
I think Mayor's just pointed out that we should have perhaps reappointed it a few minutes ago.
Have, yes. Maybe we'll do that next time when we update the terms of reference for the buzzer.
Okay,
So it's at 3:15 next Tuesday meeting.
3:15 next Tuesday, thank you.
I know that Councillor Thomas might be interested in that.
She's
going to accept
that date was that date and time.
It sounds like the time that she would have arranged it for, or asked it to be arranged for, yes.
So it's myself, Councillor Thomas, and town centre manager, but anybody else who can do. To speak, Councillor Buckley.
No, I was just anything else.
Councillor Candiah.
Yes, could someone help me understand the town accessibility audit? What does that mean?
It's Kelly, wasn't it?
As a
Sorry.
person going around with double crutches now. If it is what I think it means.
Do you have to declare an interest?
Yes, indeed, it's, as you probably suspect, so it's, an audit. I don't know if it is, I can't speak for the town centre manager. It's so certainly looking at accessibility for people with mobility problems. I don't know if it looks more broadly at people with other disabilities. But the town centre manager would be able to confirm that.
Thank you very much. Do we know when it's going to happen?
I
Is there a time frame?
I thought that the meeting had already happened. I don't know if the full audit has been carried out, but there certainly has been a meeting.
So that meeting is closed.